Who's actually going to get the most out of an HP LaserJet Enterprise MFP M528c, and who should walk away before they spend a few $100s? Is this the workhorse a mid-size office needs? Or is it just an expensive piece of metal for someone who only prints a couple of pages a day? And for the everyday buyer wondering whether the price tag matches the real-world value, let's break it down. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation most people have with the enterprise label is the fear of over-engineering. You might picture a machine that requires a full-time IT specialist just to change the toner. In practice, the M528c sits somewhere between a small office copier and a true data center printer. The unit talks Ethernet right out of the box, so you can drop it onto your network without hunting for a USB router dongle. The built-in 8-inch color touchscreen walks you through basic tasks: printing, scanning, copying, even faxing, so you don't need a separate control panel in the next room. For a team of 10 to 15 people who need to churn out double-sided reports, scan contracts for digital archives, and occasionally fax a legal document, that simplicity translates into real time saved. If you run a home office or a freelance gig that only prints invoices and occasional PDFs, you'll likely end up paying for capabilities you'll never use. The M528c is a monochrome machine, which means no color graphics for marketing materials. That's fine if your output is text-heavy, but if you need occasional color charts, you'll have to keep a secondary printer on hand. The price point also reflects the enterprise-grade security features. HP markets it as the world's most secure printing. And that's not just hype. The printer supports secure boot, encrypted data paths, and credential-based release. In environments where confidential client files or internal memos travel through the printer, that protection is a solid reason to choose this model over a consumer-grade alternative. For a hobbyist who never handles sensitive data, that security is more of a nice-to-have than a must-have. Let's talk workflow. The M528c integrates with HP Web JetAdmin, which is a centralized console you can access from any browser. In my research, businesses that actually use this console report smoother toner ordering, the ability to push firmware updates across multiple devices, and the option to set user quotas. Imagine a sales team that prints 200-page proposals each week. With Web JetAdmin, the admin can set a limit that prevents any single user from hogging all the toner and can roll out a driver update without walking to each desk. That kind of control is where the value really shows up, especially if you have a small IT staff that needs to keep everything humming without a lot of manual intervention. On the flip side, the interface isn't as intuitive as a consumer printer's press one button and go. The touchscreen is functional, but navigating the advanced settings like setting up secure print release or configuring multi-step scan workflows requires a bit of patience. The user manual is dense, and the first time you try to set up a scan-to-email rule, you'll probably need to refer to HP's online knowledge base. If you're the sort of person who wants a plug-and-play device without digging into network settings, you might find the learning curve frustrating. Cost of consumables is another hidden trade-off. The M528c uses high-capacity toner cartridges designed for enterprise volumes, which is great for reducing the number of cartridge changes per month. However, the cartridges themselves carry a premium price tag compared to standard office cartridges. In a scenario where you print 3,000 pages a month, the per-page cost evens out, and you actually save compared to a lower-capacity printer that needs frequent replacements. In a low-volume setting, those same cartridges become an unnecessary expense. So, think about your average monthly page count before you commit. Now, who should definitely consider buying this machine? Small to mid-sized businesses that need reliable, fast, double-sided output and have a consistent flow of confidential documents will find the security suite and centralized management worth the investment. Companies that run a dedicated print room, have a shared scanning station, or need to fax occasional legal paperwork will appreciate the all-in-one nature. If your organization already uses other HP solutions like HP Elite Desk PCs or HP's managed print services, the M528c slots in seamlessly, reducing the learning curve for your staff. Who should skip it? Solo entrepreneurs, remote workers, or anyone whose printing habits stay under a few hundred pages a month. The upfront price and the ongoing cartridge costs can be a drain on a lean budget. Also, if your workflow depends on color printing for presentations, brochures, or branding material, you'll need a separate color printer, making the M528c an unnecessary addition. One practical strength that stands out in real-world testing is the speed of duplex printing. The machine can handle two-sided jobs without the typical pause that slows down cheaper models. For a finance department that prints balance sheets nightly, that speed translates to less queue time and happier staff. Another strength is the fax capability, which may